Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm just giving the cards a good shuffle before we get into our weekly guidance, our weekly 7-day forecast of what we can expect over the next 7 days, along with some messages from Spirit this week. So excited to be able to carve out some more time for you to deliver some messages from the other side. So come on in. Don't forget, if you're catching this on replay and you feel like the messages are for you, they are. Listen to that intuition of yours. It's always working. Your loved ones are going to make you come across this video to make sure that you receive what it is that you need to know. Hey, Tiff. So let's jump right in. We are going to start with the weekly guidance for January 20th. How to the 26th. And it's so funny because I've been reflecting on, for my longtime followers, you know, we always do the weekly guidance on Sundays. And just to make some balance for myself with my family life, moved it to Mondays. And it's so funny because in the past, when I was doing it Sunday to Sunday, it was like, oh my God, how are we at another Sunday already? How are we here already? And now that it's on Monday, I feel like, oh my God, I haven't done a weekly guidance in like forever. It's so funny. Oh, I was thinking that yesterday because I'm like, ooh, it just feels like I should be getting ready to do a weekly guidance video. But we moved that Monday just feels so long. That mental mind loves to play tricks on us, doesn't it? Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Listen, I have been also following my own guidance along with each and every one of you from 2024. I always say I share the guidance, but I also need the guidance just along with every single one of you. And bringing balance in was my number one. Doing a lot of reflection. I think when you're in it, you don't realize exactly how much you are giving and all the energy that you're putting out. And it definitely was my main focus coming into 2025. Went a little extreme for January, but it's really given me that foundation and that balance that I need to recuperate and to get excited again, right? Get excited again about moving forward and not just going through the motions. And I'm already seeing a difference in how I feel, in how I sleep, and even the quality of work that I'm giving out. I always say it's never my readings, my personal readings. Spirit always shows up amazing, but it would be in other avenues or my patience or my ability to rest is really where I see my imbalances if I am overworking and overgiving in that way. And so 2025, it's all about balance. It's all about giving yourself what you need. And I, along you, are doing the same. So I'm really excited to see what's in store. Focusing on or refocusing on, you know, what matters the most. And to me, I enjoy so much of everything that I do that when it really comes down to it, when I simplified it as much as I could, it's the messages. It's the messages, right? I love everything else and I love my classes and I love everything that I do. But I think the most impactful part of what I do is giving messages from the other side. And so prioritizing doing live videos like back in the day when I started 10 years ago, we used to do live messages from Spirit all the time, right? And so this is something that I have made a goal of doing minimum monthly as we go through the year. And so some Mondays are going to be just weekly guidance and some Mondays are going to be weekly guidance with messages from Spirit. So I'm really excited to be here again. The impact from the last month's messages from Spirit Facebook Live was amazing. Again, Spirit will always bring you to the video. They will always use your own intuition to validate what they're bringing through and the experiences that they are validating. You're going to have your own goosebumps. You're going to know it was for you. And piggybacking happens. That's just what happens when you're doing a large form. And that's why it's so important to listen to your own intuition. Even through the video, Spirit had me talk about how, even if you're watching this on replay, this is for you. The fact that you came to this video, it's your divine team that's bringing you here. And I had so many messages and emails after the video saying, oh my gosh, that resonated with me. You wouldn't believe the how much that has hit home. And so it just, reminded me of what it's all about. Right? What it's all about. And that is connecting with you. And I'm so happy to be here. And I'm so happy to be feeling more balanced and being able to spend more quality time with you guys. So let's jump in it. First, we're going to do the weekly guidance. Like I said, this is from January 20th through to the 26th, and then we'll get into some messages. All right. Ooh, Jerry's in Toronto. Have fun, girly. All right. So first and foremost, what we are showing is that there is an ending that's coming in. Okay. You may actually already be in the thick of it because it almost feels like I want to validate this for you. Okay. And so there is this walking away, this ending. Now, this can be something that's by choice or something that we are experiencing, because I do feel quite a bit of grief that's connected to it. So remember, grief is not only for departed loved ones, it's for whatever once was that no longer is. For some of you, this could be a departure. This could be a departure of a loved one, departure of a beloved pet. This can also be coming to realization, right? Realizing like, oh, this relationship is no longer serving me, or, oh, this job is no longer serving me, and kind of navigating the emotions that come with it. And for some of you, you're ready and you're raring to make that big life change. Okay. And so there is a lot of completion, wrapping up type of energy that's coming in, but it's also very dense emotionally. Okay. And so we do want to remain objective. We do want to allow ourselves to process, right? But give yourself time and kind of make sure, I always say, yes, we want to process our emotions. We want to honor our emotions. We also want to be the observer of our emotions, because sometimes our mental mind loves to say a whole lot of shenanigans that is just not real. It is just not true. And so we do want to have that awareness as we're going through it, so that we're not going to magnify or prolong or create a narrative that is hurtful and harmful to us. Okay. And so a little bit of self-awareness, and maybe even taking that step back and kind of reflecting like, yeah, this is hard right now, but it is as it should be. And I feel so certain about that. Okay. There is a lot of reassurance coming in connected to matters of the heart. Okay. Relationships, passion, self-love. I wanted to say self-development, but it's more like self-acceptance. It's more in the sense of trying to be better, trying to be different, and more in the realization that you are whole and complete and amazing as you are. Okay. And so there is this shift within relationships. You're already going to notice as well in, the what is it, first 3 weeks of 2025, relationships have really taken a turn. There is this sense of clarity, but there is this sense of balance or less intensity, right? And so the clarity is coming in, giving us information that it is that we need to help us proceed moving forward and how to navigate certain relationships. But there's also this feeling of like where it was like one thing after another, or everything was extreme, or every argument was, a drag out fight. There's more of this lower intensity level that's connected to it. Okay. They also have the Star card, and that's where the reinsurance comes in. Have faith that the future is bright. And so if you're going through a dissolving of a relationship, no matter the dynamic of the relationship, this would reassure that you are going to have that happiness, that love, that peace moving forward. Okay. Another way that I would interpret this is for yourself. So if you have found yourself feeling a little low lately, Januaries are hard. And I think today is Blue Monday, right? Isn't this the third Monday of January, which is the most depressed day of the year, right? You're not alone. Listen, we're going like this, right? And we have to give ourselves permission to do so, okay? And so this is this reassurance that, listen, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You are on track. You may find like, geez, this first 3 years of 2025 isn't the vibe, right? This isn't how I thought it was going to be. This isn't how I thought things were going to be moving quicker. This is that realization of giving yourself permission to be where you're at and knowing and trusting that there is nothing wrong with you for being where you're at. If you have the awareness to worry that you're not moving forward, healing and growing in the ways that you think you should be or that you hope to be, then you have the awareness to understand that you are light years ahead of that average public, of majority of people there. And so we're not going to be comparing our paths to other people's paths. We do need to keep our eyes on our own lane and trust that we are moving forward in the timeline that is meant for us. Okay. There is the ending that's coming in. Trish, definitely not the vibe. So we do have the Queen of Earth coming in. This is you purging. This is you getting rid of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Okay. This feels a little spicy. There's that ego and triggered, so somebody's pissing you off. There's the wanting to do what's right or worried about maybe consequences, but they're saying that it is time for you to focus on you, releasing situations or people that hold you back, seeing the humor in difficult situations, divorce or unmarried individuals. And so this is definitely not easy, the ego card. And you may even feel like you can't or that you shouldn't, and yet you feel strongly about this, right? So the ego card comes up when we have that illusion of feeling trapped, like our hands are tied. This would indicate that that is an illusion, that there's always a way. Okay. And so if you're having repeat ideas or repeat urges, and then you remind yourself, oh no, but I can't, right? Ask yourself, okay, if I can, what way should I do it? Guides, if this is my path for me, please reveal the steps to take and give it a minute. And I think that that's going to be something that is fruitful for you, because there is a pivot that's coming in within this week. They did just show me 26. So I'm going to interpret that as January 26th in a general way. I would say the 26th day, week, month, or year from now. But this feels more like right around the corner. There is going to be a pivot. And it does come in from a space where we are kind of a little bit like our back is up against the wall, and we are what's the word? I want to say retaking. That's not the right word. We are taking charge of our power again, right? And so there is this feeling of, I'm not going to let them ruin my peace. I'm done worrying about, and kind of giving yourself this feeling of self-power, which is self-empowerment. Coming back to your soul's empowerment is the mantra, is the goal of 2025. And so there's days where we feel more strongly connected to that, and there's days where we plain old forget, and that is okay. We gently become aware and go, oh, what steps can I take that is going to align me with my power again? There's always so much that's happening. And I know in the States and even in Canada, the political chatter is super strong and super loud, and your power is to protect your peace, and your power is saying, I'm not going to allow this to disrupt my peace and my goals and my self-love and my growth. And there is this feeling of giving yourself that permission to detach, unplug, and remember what Spirit just said? Keep your eyes in your own lane. Okay, it's going to be very helpful moving forward. There's new love in the air, so someone new to love or something new to love. Someone new to love could be a new lover, a new baby, puppy, kitten, neighbor, colleague, etc. Something new to love can be passion projects, life goals, lifestyles, etc. Okay. And so I think that it is important that we give ourselves permission to continue moving forward with that open heart, open mind. There is a little worry. There's a little worry here around this new love, this new life path, this new experience, but they are telling you that you are moving forward with it, that we are taking the next steps to being bold and ambitious moving forward. And so again, we may take a little bit of time to adjust ourselves, a little bit of time here to regulate our emotions and get clear on what we want. Remember, I feel like a broken record because I have been saying it for months. 2025 is not instant gratification. Yes, we are absolutely moving forward. Yes, things are we're out of that quicksand type of energy that 2024 had us in, but it's still, snail's pace, right? So we need to have our patience moving forward. We need to focus on wellness. This is very wellness driven. So by taking care of you, you are moving yourself forward, right? We are not working ourselves to the bones. We are not over committing. We are not burning out. We are intentional with how we're spending our time, what we're putting out into the universe, and what we're committing to. And with this intention, which honestly feels like such a privilege lately, because 2024 and even part of 2023, it was really like one thing onto the next thing and trying to survive everything that's coming at you, right? So we didn't even really have the privilege to think it through, to process it in real time, to set our intentions and go, how do I feel about this? Or how does this feel to me moving forward? Okay. And so this is coming in, and we are wanting to continue to have our patience as we continue forward into the 2025. Is it my internet connection, Sharon? Can you guys see me? Can you hear me before we get into the messages? Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Okay, it's Sharon's. Okay, good. Yay. All right, so that is our weekly guidance for the 20th through to the 26th, which I'm really excited. Again, it feels very steady, removing what needs to be removed, focusing on what we need to focus. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the messages from Spirit. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Angela. Make sure that you follow this page. I'm here every Monday night delivering a 7-day forecast for the coming week of what it is that we need to keep an eye out for, what it is that we can work on. Tonight, we're also doing the addition of delivering messages from the other side. This could be your departed loved ones. This could be some card pulls. We'll see what Spirit brings through. I always say it's so important to have an open heart, open mind. Let your intuition lead you tonight. If you feel as though the message is for you, it's for you. You are not here by accident, whether you are catching it live or catching it on replay. Okay? Your own intuition is going to go, this is for you. You can have the goosebumps. You can have that whoa, whoa, whoa type of feeling, that, oh my God. And again, Spirit knows what needs to come forward. This is what I love doing about group events is I don't know what's about to happen. I find out just alongside of you. And so it is really important. Facebook is a little bit different. I have kind of pondered the idea of doing some free service messages from Spirit together through Zoom. But we'll keep it on Facebook for now, to see what it is that Spirit wants to bring through, how it is that they want to use this. We'll move forward and just see what happens. Sometimes when there's so many people on, that can, I don't want to say water down the messages, but I do feel like when we are on like a Zoom call, there is more ease and direction to it. So we will see. We will see. We will see. I'm moving on. Janice Carter, who's the father figure for you that's departed, Janice? So, and I know, and I understand that my messages will be a little bit delayed. I'm just going to see if I can pull this up here. Sometimes I get to sneak ahead and get the messages live on my phone. So Janice Carter, I just as soon as I was seeing your little heart there, I did feel a father figure stepped forward. So I am, okay, so your dad is departed. It's interesting as well because here we go with random shit. It is interesting. I just got to dim my lights a little. There we go. It is interesting as well, Janice, because I wanted to go, oh, he is giving me my sign and symbol that it is important that he's coming through now. When they put a mark on the calendar, that means that there's something significant of the calendar. I usually go back a month ahead of month. So if we're in January, I would go December, January, February. And this could be a departure date. This could be an anniversary. This can be a birthday, etc. When I went to go, oh, the calendar, he handed me a handful of buttons. And I don't know what that means because Spirit has never given me a handful of buttons before. So I don't know if your dad always like collected buttons or you were searching for buttons or had to like put on do like a fix and had to fix a button. I really don't know the significance of this, but he has this very belly driven laugh that's happening right now. So I am also wondering if he's playing jokes on me. He died on Valentine's Day in 2023 or 2013. And so this is why it is he showed me the calendar to validate that this is him. Okay. He also made me feel when I said your name that you went right? And so know that this is his way of wanting to validate that his soul is with you in that exact moment. Okay. And it is important because he does make me hear the questioning for. So I'm wondering where dad is or feeling like I'm not getting the signs and symbols like I used to. Janice, can you just tell me as well if your mother's living? Because he does want me to address the other living female as well. Okay. And so there is this wanting to validate that even though we may not be feeling him all the time, that his soul is present. Okay. There is also this reassurance because when he makes me feel like emotions are heavy, or maybe that we're worried, maybe we're worried for mom, or maybe we're worried for a loved one, it's his way of wanting to validate that you're not alone in carrying this. Okay. So whoever the other female that we have worry for, Janice, he does make me feel like this message is for you, but it's also for another female. It could be a sister then, or a daughter, or someone who's close to you, but it's his way of wanting to support you and let you know that you're not that you guys, that he hasn't left you. Okay, my sister is alive and she has moved back to Nova Scotia. Perfect. And so bringing your sister in, right? This is why they do this. They bring the sibling in, or they'll bring the other loved one in saying, this is for you too, because she's also having these worries or concerns of where's dad type of thing, or is my signs and symbols, or if we are questioning our faith. Okay. Can you also tell me, because I did have mom step forward, but they are, when spirit stands next to each other, because I'm clairvoyant, it is hard for me to figure out who's exactly talking, but they're snapping their fingers, which is my sign and symbol for sudden or unexpected departure. I didn't get to say goodbye, or feeling of, even if they were sick, we didn't expect them to pass on the day that they did. Okay. So out of mom and dad, or both, who can take that? I also want to address as well, Janice, the bedding. Okay. And so when they put new sheets on the bed, that either means that we have bedding that is connected to them. Mom passed quickly. Okay. Bedding that is connected to them, and or we just changed our sheets, or we just bought new bedding, new sheets, new beddings, etc. Okay. So they're using this as a validation. It's so interesting as well because mom also makes me feel some discomfort in my back teeth. And so this could be dental issues that she had. This can also mean that you have been having this, or sister, or you recently are going to be going to the dentist. Okay. And so this is just their way as well of bringing through validations to let you know that they are well. The two of them especially. And it's so funny because dad seemed so grounded when he first came through. But then as soon as mom came through, it's like they keep trying to talk over each other. So like, okay, now it's a competition. But mom comes forward really with this. I've been thinking about getting new sheets. Perfect. Mom's way of validating being present with you. Even if we're not getting the signs and symbols, even if we're not feeling them as often as we think that we should, this is their way of validating that they are with you. Okay. They also showed me an owl, and I don't usually get owls. Okay. So you may already connect to an owl. You may like owl things, however you connect to that. That is not an image that I get often, but here it is. But here it is. There's also this feeling of a decision that's coming forward. You know, I would say that it's fair to say that there is a bit of discontentment of just kind of like some things need to change, and maybe I'm not quite putting my finger on it just yet, or you don't know exactly which way you want to go moving forward. Just give it a little bit of time is what they're saying. Okay, they're showing me that it is going to it's all just going to start lining up. And so this kind of hesitation or this slow roll, maybe things aren't going as fast as you want them to. There is this reassurance that it is all and to me, this is like from now to June. Right. And so we may be trucking ahead feeling like, oh, nothing is working out fast enough, or the clarity isn't here, or I keep getting stalled, or progress isn't working as I would hope it. You are progressing. Things are moving. They're showing me the puzzle pieces are moving in the ways that they need to. And you'll really see this or feel this by June. Okay. And so keep that in mind. There is this reassurance because there's almost this feeling, very good, Janice. There's almost this feeling as well where for the first time in your life, you are focusing on you. And what is it that you want? And there is this feeling of, well, I checked off these things in life, right? Whatever they were for you. And now it's kind of like, but now what? Right? Now what? And so you may be finding yourself wanting to upgrade to great. This is good enough. But like, there's this almost desire to go all in for you, right? We were so distracted with taking care of others, or we're so distracted, putting X, Y, and Z in front of us. Now it really is the time for you. Okay. They also showed me the number 36. When I get numbers, they can mean whatever. I always say I cannot misinterpret the number because the image is the image, but I often don't know what it means. So 36 days, weeks, months, or years, an age, a house number, hockey number, etc., etc. So just write down that I said number 36. To me, it feels like a validation. Okay. And so there's very much this sense of permission. You make the changes that you need to make for you, right? You prioritize your happiness, you prioritize your well-being. And in the past, there was almost this fear of that would keep you still, and now the fear is gone because you've been doing so much work on self, and now you're just more willing and ready to make shifts and changes because it's time to, right? And so this could be something that you were him and han on in the past, wasn't the right time. Now it is. And so wanting, again, patience as things unfold, know that mom and dad are supporting you. I don't know how you're going to interpret this, so I'm just going to say it. You are not responsible for another adult person's happiness. There is this feeling of I'm sinking, trying to keep them afloat. And now we're giving ourselves permission to prioritize ourselves floating. Okay. And so this would be someone who is able. I'm not talking about children who need the support. I'm not talking about disabled adults who need this support. This is an able person that has been top priority or taking your time and attention and emotions. And now it is important for you to give yourself permission to flow that energy towards yourself. All right. I'm going to leave that with you, Janice. Thank you. Rhonda Ivy, I am going to pull 2 cards. Isn't that interesting? I just pulled the Queen. Very good, Janice. Very good. The Queen and the King of Earth. Okay, so this is very much that feminine, masculine energy. Okay, and so there is this reminder, Rhonda, that you yourself are the gift, that you yourself is of high value, that you make everything more beautiful, that you have this ability to transform, right? Energy, people, projects. There's this want to understand your value here. What's also interesting is it's almost like I feel like I'm in negotiations. So maybe we're in negotiations for work, or we are requesting a pay raise, or we are on the verge of investing in ourselves. This is this reminder that you are of high value. This masculine side of you is the success. Look, a time of great success, financial security and prosperity, everything turning out beautifully. Do not underestimate yourself. Know your worth. Okay? Orientation and new job. Perfect. You may be new, but you are so able and you are so capable. So going through that in a sense of security. Nothing but success and prosperity around that. Okay? So don't also it says manage your time. So don't be sorry. No, I was interpreting that wrong. Financially, there is something that we're kind of like, are we going? Are we not going? Am I doing it? Am I not doing it? We are kind of reserving on the side of caution. To me, it's a not right now. Okay. So if we were looking into a big purchase, or we were looking into booking a trip, or we were looking to get a new vehicle, in about 3 months, it may be a better price, better time for you, better experience for you. Or if this is something that we've been wanting to do and yet we keep hitting hiccups, it's temporary pause. They're showing me a shift and a change within 3 months. This can also mean that, hey, because I'm just like 3 months sounds familiar. Maybe we are starting out at one fee, and in 3 months there's going to be a raise where we can better navigate these financial decisions. However this comes in, they are just saying, let's do a little slow roll, have patience with it, and there's going to be a better way for you. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave that with you, Rhonda. Where are we going next? Leah McIsaac. Let's go with Leah. What is this? Leah, can you just tell me if you're currently in a relationship? All right. So as we're waiting for Leah, hopefully she's still here. Yes, I am. Okay, perfect. So first we have the meditation turn inward card. There is this clarity that needs to come in. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if your mind has been a little squirrely. Because it's like I'm trying to nail Jello to the wall, and it's like nothing's sticking. I can't land on an idea or a direction or a decision. Okay. There is this need for a little bit of time. It's so interesting as well because I keep going outwards, and outwards feels like a distraction. The answers are within, is how they're showing it. Okay. And so having some time for quiet, having some time to go within, just as a relatable example, I came into this month with some very strict rules for myself to make sure that I stop, drop, and relax, right? And kind of get my clarity coming in. Now that I'm in my third week of like low intensity living, I'm all of a sudden getting very like, what can I do? What can I take on? Where am I going? Right? And I have to consciously be like, no, you promised yourself for the entire January, right? And so there is this need, even if there's this desire to go outwards, to busy, to go on to the next thing, plan the next thing, right? To stay stationary internally, meaning like reflection, go within. Remember how we talked about 2025 is all about intentions, okay? They're saying allow yourself more time before making a decision. And that seems to be exactly what they're wanting to get. We're going to get there. We're going to be, trucking along in due time, but there is this need for right now, this permission to be stationary. Utilize it, not just scrolling on TikTok, not just being physically stationary, allowing your soul to rest, allowing yourself to hear your thoughts, allowing yourself to deep dive within. So much has been happening, they're saying, over the last 6 years for you, Leah, that you need to kind of like catch up with yourself, right? And align with who you are now, because I'm telling you, things are going off to the races. So we do have the falling in love. So this is this falling in love, being swept off your feet, a sudden love affair. This means that something is coming in very whimsical. Okay, very whimsical. That is bringing in learning. That's bringing in something that maybe we have never experienced before. We're wanting it. We're wanting, this does feel desired. This does feel like it's what we want to come in. But it is going to take, time, money, energy, etc. We do want to make sure that we are having the stillness now. Listen, I have been doing this long enough. I see it in everybody's readings. When you are in your stationary season, it is to prepare you for a very busy season, right? And so it is the pause, but the calm before the storm. Remember, pauses are part of the path. The pause is part of the path. We have to have pauses to recoup, to reflect, to align with our divine team and our divine timing, to align with other people's divine timing, right? And so the pause is very purposeful, and we don't want to squander it. We get antsy. We want it. And so we do want to make sure that we are giving ourselves permission to be. Okay. This new beginning that feels very like my heart is exploding is coming in, and it is going to bring in a lot of new experiences, right? And so whether this is a new job, maybe this is parenthood, maybe this is a move, maybe this is the dream project, whatever this is, it is going to take time and energy. Okay. The 10 of Cups is the positive after the negative. Okay. I love this card because it's just full of hope and full of faith. It's very renewing, right? I always interpret it as the baby after miscarriage, love after loss, healing after hurt, abundance after lack, peace after struggle, right? Coming out the other side of this dark, gloomy season into sunshine, rainbows, right? And so we're getting there. This card specifically, the wording on the card is all about relationships. It says a happy marriage, happily ever after, emotional contentment, a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully, right? And so how you interpret this is reassuring you to give yourself the time, trust that it's all going to be working out, because it is. Okay? So I'm going to leave that with you, Leah. Good. Good. And you know what, Leah, I would do? I would journal it out, right? just write it all out in jot form and go, okay, what guides? Tell me what one I should focus on. And sometimes it's none. Sometimes it's just bringing our attention to it. I have this ongoing list in my notes of random shit that comes in this noggin, right? And so I think that it is important that I know in the beginning of my path, when the beginning of using my intuition, I used to get so like, oh my God, like, how am I going to execute all of this? I got to do it all right now, right? I'll tell, yeah. That doesn't end well. Don't do it. What I have learned is it's like, oh, okay, this comes in because now I have the seed planted. Now it's going to allow me to move forward with open eyes to bring in what needs to come in. There's things that I have seen in my path or has come into me or ideas that I've had 10 years ago that are now coming into my life now. We're playing for the long game, guys, right? Nothing is instant. Okay. And a lot of the times, because social media can be very deceiving, that we will see other people and feel as though they are, overnight success, or they're figuring we either didn't see their hardship or things are moving at a dangerous speed. How many times have I seen people's path and go, and they're so excited. I am sick to my stomach because I'm like, this is crashing and burning, guys. Right? And so it's actually in our best interest for things to be at more of a slower speed that we can maintain, process, and navigate with more of that control, right? And so we want to, again, and I know I've said this in the beginning of the video, the weekly guidance, keep your eye in your own lane. This is your path is only a one-person path. It is only yours. Our paths can be parallel and be night and day in the difference, right? And so we are all here for our own individual paths. And I think that's important to give ourselves permission to. And when that comparison comes in that makes us feel we're falling behind or we're not good enough or they're getting their big break faster than me, right? That's just not true. That's their path and your path, and they're two different paths. It's like apples and oranges, okay? All right, I'm going to leave that with you, Leah. Change the love me. Good. I'm just scrolling back. I stopped at your last message there. Time to get back at it. That's right. Get that journal going. Spirit called you out. It's so true. I'm not a fan of the slower pace. It's only temporary. So remind yourself that when your mind wants you to go. We will be busy again, but right now we need this to come in. Okay. Pam Ward says, loves a card for clarity. This is to answer your question that you have in your mind. It says, an unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or who have questionable motives. Looks like a little risky. Looks like we're gambling. You're so welcome, Leah. I don't know what this is. Oh my God, the anxiety that I'm feeling. Okay, so I do have a male stepping forward. With the amount of anxiety that he's making me feel, it does feel like this is a very tragic, possibly public departure. He keeps restricting my throat. And there is this feeling of somebody else is responsible for my departure. Okay. Right now they're showing me newspapers. So that just means that it's in the media. It may be something that is, widely known. They're also bringing through, my sign and symbol of question marks, which means we don't really have the answers just yet. Okay. And he circled the word yet. So this would be very validating for you, for your loved one. It comes across very brotherly, right? But he's an adult. So this could be your brother, your brother-in-law, your bestie, brother-like friend, brother-like connection, that type of thing. I would also say parents are also living as well, so bringing through the messages. But I feel like the person who is tuning in, you're having your own intuitive experience. And don't forget, if you're watching this on replay, it's just as valid. Okay. There is this feeling of damage to my body because he wants to bring through this warning of he wants to bring through this warning of like information that we are about to learn. That seems to be the message. And he shows me in spirit with a motherly figure. Um, so like grandmother, that type of motherly connection. So I see them in silhouette. So I always say mother, stepmother, grandmother, mother-in-law, auntie who played that role. I would interpret this as a grandmother, okay? Or grand aunt, right? Like that type of connection. There is this feeling of he was safe in heaven already with the mother figure as his body was going through the traumatic departure. Okay. And so if we are coming into the know, or maybe we have heard some gruesome details, there is this feeling of I was already outside of my body, therefore not fearful and not suffering. He makes me feel like I had my first hit to the back of my head, popped me into spirit, and everything that happened after that, he did not experience. Okay? Because he keeps writing it down, and I don't know what that means. He keeps writing it down. So I don't know if we're going to read about it or if there's notes about it or journal about it. I'm actually just going to be really honest. I don't understand that part of it. That's not something that spirit usually says to me. And so if you're watching this on replay or you understand that, I would love a validation. Let me know. Whenever spirit brings something through, I'm like, if you figure it out, you let me know. But there is a lot of reassurance that he's okay. I think the biggest message that's coming in is his way of wanting to validate that he is not in pain and that he did not experience the horrific details that we hear or that are imagination. Because I always say not knowing is worse than knowing. Okay. I also wouldn't be surprised if there is quite a lot of damage to the physical body, specifically in this area. And he does want to acknowledge that that is not something that he had experienced. Okay. And it's so interesting because I also will say this very bluntly. I don't think that he would have ever went to a medium. Because he's like, okay, that's all I want to say. Bye. And he just left. I was like, okay. And I got the vibe that, you know, people who know him and love him may be like, there's no way, but he loves you, right? He loves you. He wants his truth to be known, and he wants you to know that his soul is safe, that he's not alone, that the grandmother greeted him when he crossed over, and that he didn't experience, you know, the worst of it. Okay, so I will leave you with that. Where are we going next? Robin, isn't this so funny? So Robin Evans, we have planning for the long-term, abundance from past choices, being patient as you decide what's next. Okay. There he is. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I know this is very reflective of your 25 breakdown. And so things that are already in motion are coming into fruition, that are coming in to benefit you. And there is someone you can completely trust, a situation that is safe, a solid romantic relationship. I love it. Ooh, I just got the chills. I don't know what that means. I have a young blonde female. I want to say daughter on the other side. Now, she is coming through as a child, but I always do say it is someone that we felt passed before their time, someone younger than us. Um, there is a February connection and a March or May, possibly May. We'll say both just to cover our bases. So the young blonde female that is departed, she does want me. She did mention February. She brought me to the MA months, so March or May. She also brings me to a box. So it's almost like a box of her things or a keepsake box. It's so interesting. She does bring me through to the bracelet as well. And the blanket. And this heart-shaped. And I'm trying to figure out, is that like a card or a decal? Or is that... I feel like it's tangible. Okay? Oh, enjoy your time, Sharon. I can't wait to hear how your circle went. That she also wants to acknowledge the living male as well. And so it's interesting because I do feel like some time has passed. Okay. And so we may not be expecting her to come through. Or there's something to do. It's either you're not expecting her to come through or you have no idea who I am and you just came across this video. But this young female that is departed, a young daughter that is departed who has a living male, has a living brother. There's also the keepsake box. There's something to do with the heart, but you know, like the heart. And I'm trying to figure out what this is because I can feel it. But like, you know how sometimes the heart will have the heart and then like the little scalping around it? That's the image that she's giving me. Okay. There really is. And then there's something to do with the locket or the necklace as well. Okay. The message really, it seems very short and sweet in the sense of I'm here. I need to reassure you that I'm here. There is this feeling as well of reigniting somebody's faith, right? Yeah, it's kind of like a Valentine. Reigniting somebody's faith, reassuring that we're here, that everything is okay, that I haven't left, even if I'm quiet. I always say, just because we don't feel them all the time doesn't mean that they're not there. They are always with us, okay? And so just bringing through that sense of reassurance. There is this feeling of she then brings through quite the older lady with her as well. And so this could be your daughter and your mother or your grandmother that's passed, that they are together as well, validating and bringing in these reassurances. Okay. I also want to say that there's 2 dogs as well, one like medium to large and one small to medium. Not tiny, but like small, like maybe a small terrier and then maybe something a little bit bigger than that. Okay. But also two different textures to the fur. So one may be coarse, one may be slightly curly, etc. Okay. And I think that is important. Okay. And it's her way as well of just bringing through these validations. No, I don't think I'm with you, Susan. Bringing through these validations because I feel like who this message is for, which feels like the mother, is about to embark on some changes in life that may be making us feel that grief all over again, or that uncertainty all over again, that fear all over again. And there is that reassurance. There is that reassurance that that you are so protected moving through this experience is the message that's coming in. Okay. I do want to bring through the letter M as well. That could be connected to the daughter or connected to the mother that the message is for. You're so welcome, Susan. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay. If you're catching this on replay and you feel like this is for you, message me. Okay. Let's do one more before I get going. Where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? Tamara Lee. All right, we're going with Tamara Lee. Um, where do we even begin, Tamara? Where do we even begin? Can you just tell me, Tamara, if you're in a relationship or a situationship? What's the old status there, girl? Okay, so as I wait for Tamara to get back to me, I know my comments are delayed. There is this strong reassurance, Tamara, that you are supported as you continue forward. Okay? There is this feeling of change. I want to say two changes, one involuntary. Two changes, one involuntary. You're married. Okay. So this is either with your partner, or this can be another masculine energy in your life, maybe an overbearing parental figure or boss or colleague. There is the stand up for yourself, needing to stand. And I see you digging your heels in. There seems to be a time to compromise. This ain't it. All right. There is this need for you to stay firm in your beliefs with this. And so hold your boundaries, hold your space. That seems to be important for you here. There is this kind of pick your battles wisely as well, but I think that this has been something that has already been an issue that we are now holding our own, and we're not compromising on this. Okay, there's the queen of queen of air, which is you releasing what no longer serves you. Okay, we are no longer in 2025 dimming down and putting up with BS, right? And so releasing situations or people that no longer serve you, seeing the humor in difficult situations, focusing on your career, divorce, or dissolving of relationships. So what that is showing is that there is this kind of releasing and letting go. I'm in a situation where I can't control. Okay. So this means that it is not with your husband though. Yeah. So this is validating you. So when I feel masculine energy, this is either a male or a masculine female. A masculine female would be someone that I would have like a bulldozer type of personality, someone that would be aggressive or uncompromising or problematic for whatever reason. So this is that sense of needing to stand in your power, right? And kind of protect your peace, letting go and walking away from whatever no longer serves you with this. And it's so interesting because then before there is this feeling of wanting to having to put up with it. And even though this may be something that's ongoing, and this may be in a legal system, or this may be H&R, this may be something that you can't, that has some weight to it, there is this need to protect your peace. Okay, so there's the Justice card. The outcome here is the Balance card. Okay, I'm living with my brother-in-law. There you go. And so needing to kind of dig those heels in with what you feel is right, or taking that initiative and doing what you need to do for you. Okay, balance is key. Needing to create more of a peaceful experience for you is the answer here. There's the ending that's coming in. It says, end of challenging times, things are looking up, a welcome relief, finding your way to a peaceful place. Okay, and so there are shifts and changes that need to come in, and I'll say it like this: talking is done, right? actions is what needs to come in. And so maybe this is something that we've been saying, like, oh, this isn't working out for me, or, oh, whatever. Now it's time to put actions where our mouth is. And so planting the seeds, this doesn't mean go and burn things down to the ground and hope for the best. This means go, okay, you know what? I'm putting this seed in place. I'm planting this seed here, and I'm going to create the change that I need for myself. There's learning experiences. There's a learning curve that's connected to this. Okay. But trust that you're planning for the long term, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is this type of thing of being like, oh, if we're going to be people pleasing, then at least put ourselves on the list. Make sure that we're people pleasing ourselves too. So there has been a lot of accommodating others, and now it's time to accommodate you. And so whether that looks like creating more time for yourself, delegating responsibilities, creating new experiences or new opportunities for yourself, there needs to be giving yourself that permission to do so, Tamara. I think that's the biggest step ahead. Sometimes when we feel like our hands are tied, we're constantly dismissing ourselves right away. Well, there's nothing I can do about it, right? There's always something that we can do about it. And if we can't physically change things, then we can internally change things. Most worthwhile changes start internally first. And so giving yourself that permission to do so, to hear your voice, to dig your heels in, is something that is important. Okay. We're hoping to move out this year. Awesome. And so this would mean, what does that mean? Does that mean creating another income for 6 months? Does that mean moving into a less than ideal place temporarily to get us to our goal? Because there does seem to be the stepping stone. Right? And so we may not be getting the best job, but we can get a job and then keep looking for the best job. Or we can get an A apartment and an apartment and then look for the best apartment. There is a stepping stone to this. And so that's where this kind of grit needs to come from. And that's where there's almost not like lack of compromise. Maybe you're kind of like, okay, I want to be out here in 6 months, and then 5 months come around and hubby's like, well, it's all good. What's another 3 months? Like, you know what I mean? That's where they're like, dig down, dig your heels in, and be that conduit of change. The cards support this coming in. Okay. And so when you set your goals, you're definitely going to be executing them efficiently once you make your mind up to do so. All right, everyone. I'm going to leave you with that. It's been a wonderful hour with you here. Don't forget, replay will be posted on Facebook. It's also going to be uploaded onto YouTube. It may be easier to find if you're looking back. I'll be back next Monday, and I hope that you have an awesome, awesome week. All right, everyone. Take care.